Om Vakradunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmadgurubhyo Namaha Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badharayanam Sutra Bhashyakritam Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishwaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyoma Bhatvyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Om Shri Medha Dakshina Murti Swamine Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Om Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya Krishnakarine Namo Vedanta Vedyaya Gurave Buddhi Sakshine Krishna Dvaipayanam Vyasam Sarvalokahite Ratam Vedabja Bhaskaram Vande Samadhi Nilayam Munim Sahasramurte Purushottamasya Sahasranetranana Pada Baho Sahasranamam Stavanam Prashastam Vimuchyate Janma Jaradi Shantyai. Namaste once again, everyone.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste. Some cooking is going on which is irritating my throat. It's not cold or anything, so don't worry. Okay. So, this was the shloka we were seeing. Swaksha Swanga Shathanando Nandir Jyotir Ganeshwaraha Vijidatma Vidheyatma Satkirtishchinna Samshayaha. Now, I think that the last nama we saw was Swaksha, right? Am I right? Sushobhane Pundarikabe Akshini Asyeti Swaksha. Swaksha means one who has got beautiful eyes, like the petals of lotus. Pundarikabe says. So, for the purpose of Upasana, Bhagavan can be visualized as having beautiful eyes. So here in this shloka, lot of description about the physical attributes of Bhagavan. So it starts with the eyes, Swakshaha. Then the next nama is Swangaha. Sorry. The one who has beautiful limbs. Su Shobhanani Angani Asyeti Swangaha. So Bhagavan is Swanga, one whose every anga, limb is perfect. Of course, his form is not limited in any way because he is Purna. And in his avatars as Vamana, Sri Rama, Sri Krishna, etc., Bhagavan is portrayed as very handsome. Right? Everything complete in all respects, very proportionate, limbs. So he is Swangaha. Then Shatanandaha, the one who expresses as varieties of joy. Eka eva Paramanandaha Upadi Bhedat Shatadha Vidyate iti Shatananda. And we have seen this again and again. The Swarupa of Bhagavan is Paramananda. So his nature is of infinite joy. And when we understand that there is no difference between ourselves and Bhagavan. There is no difference between the Jiva and Ishvara. We will then realize that our true nature is also Paramananda, limitless happiness. But as Jivas, we experience the happiness in different degrees based upon our upadhi, the type of body, mind, sense complex that we have. And as Ananda expresses only in the mind, it expresses in hundreds of types and degrees, depending upon the type of mind, its condition, and its moods. That is why, even though we do experience Ananda at times, some external event or something else, some impurity like anger or jealousy, when it enters the mind, that Ananda is eclipsed. So this is as Jivas, as having this body, mind, sense complex, we experience Ananda in different degrees. Sometimes we are very elated, sometimes we are just happy. And our Ananda depends upon the conditions and moods of how the mind is functioning at a given point in time. And whatever Ananda we experience also is the Paramananda of Bhagavan only. Bhagavan is one non-dual, limitless Ananda. And that Ananda expresses hundreds of happiness depending on the mind, as I said. But this is not true only of human beings, also devas, animals, and all other jivas. Because it is one Ananda, which is Swarupananda, which gets expressed in different kinds of, hundreds of kinds of Ananda in our mind, in the minds of Jiva. So he is Shatananda. In fact, Adi Shankara, I think, quotes from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Etasya eva anandasya anyani bhutani matram upajivanti. So, etasya eva anandasya. It is the Ananda, the Paramananda, Swarupananda of Bhagavan alone. Anyani bhutani matram upajivanti. They are reflected as the Ananda of all other jivas. Matram is said, that means a fraction. So it is this limitless Ananda alone, all beings enjoy, each being enjoying a small fraction of that. In fact, Taittiriya Upanishad talks about different degrees of Ananda, which I think one of the earlier classes also I might have mentioned. Different degrees of Ananda in different upadhis. Taittiriya Upanishad mentions that. So this is Shatananda. Then Nandihi. Nandi also means the one who is in the form of Ananda. Paramananda Vigraha Nandihi. So that Ananda of Bhagavan, in order to symbolize that, it is given the form of a Nandi. Nandi, you all know. Nandi also we consider as Bhagavan only. So even though Bhagavan expresses as varieties of Ananda, Bhagavan is Nandi, his form itself being Ananda, being Nanda rather. Nanda means what? I mean, Ananda, Nanda is the same thing rather, which is happiness. So when that Ananda, we take it as Nanda, he becomes Nandi, assumes a form of Nandi, which is nothing but a symbolic representation of the Paramananda of Bhagavan. See, that is why when we go to the temples and all that, if we understand all these things, we will not see Nandi as an animal. And Nandi is always present in front of Bhagavan, Parameshwara. That itself symbolizes that where Nandi is, Parameshwara is, where Parameshwara is, Nandi is. That means what? Parameshwara Swarupa, Ananda is always present with him. It is eternal. So these are all the symbolisms which our ancestors had evolved in order to represent all these these aspects of attributes of Bhagavan. So Nandihi. Then Jyotir Ganeshwara. Jyotihi means effulgent, right? Bright. Ganeshwara, Jyotir Ganaha means the effulgent beings or effulgent things in this entire cosmos. And he is the Ishvara of that. Jyotihi Gananam Ishvara hai, Jyotir Ganeshwara hai. So at the Adi Bhuta level, he is Ishvara, the Lord of all Jyotir Ganas. What are the Jyotir Ganas? All the effulgent entities in the universe. The suns, the moons, the stars, and all other luminaries. What we call luminaries. So at the Adi Bhuta level, he is there in all these luminaries. At the Adi Daiva level, he is the Lord of the presiding Devatas of all luminaries. As we all know, in our culture, every luminary, every power which is there in the cosmos is represented by a Devata. So he is the Bhagavan. Bhagavan Ishvara is the Lord of all the Devatas of these luminaries. In fact, the Navagraha, mantra, if we Navagraha Suktam, which is the Devata, Adi Devata, all that we will know for each of the Navagrahas. Similarly, 27 nakshatras are there. Nakshatra Suktam, if you study, you will know what is each nakshatram, Devata and Ati Devata. So we have seen at the Adi Bhuta level, it is Jyotir Ganas, which are suns, moons, etc. At the Adi Daiva level, he is the Ishvara, the Lord of all presiding Devatas. And in fact, all our organs of perception and mind can also be called Jyotir Ganas, because using them only, we are able to gain knowledge. It is our organs which illumine the objects of our experience. We are able to see because the effulgence in our eyes, they illumine the objects for us to see. So even our own organs can be taken as, and that's why, when we do the Mahanyasam or even Lagunyasam, we recall every Devata and then associate the Devata with each of our organs. Prajanane Brahma Tishtatu Padayor Vishnustishtato, Hastayor Harastishtato, Bahvor Indrastishtato, Jatare Agnistishtato, Hridaye Shivastishtato. Like that we explain. Then Agnirme Vachisrita, Agni Devata is there in my tongue. Vayurme Prane Shrita, Vayu Devata is in my prana. Suryo me Chakshushi Shrita, Surya Devata is in my eyes, which is effulgent, which is helps us to see, experience the things, have the sight. Like that, when we actually understand these Veda mantras and what exactly they are representing, we understand the meaning. Then when we are doing the nyasam, we are actually bringing all the devatas, all the cosmic powers into our, we are visualizing the cosmic powers within ourselves. And we have already understood that cosmic powers is what we call Ishvara, the order of the cosmos. That is what we call Ishvara. So once we understand and we visualize and we meditate upon that, associating each part of our organ with the respective devatas, in essence, what we are actually meditating on, we are meditating on the entire cosmos being present within us. So the organs of perception, mind, etc., everything can be called Jyotirganas. And at the Adhyatma level, again, he is the Lord of these all effulgent sense organs. How do our sense organs become effulgent? It is because of Swayam Jyoti, Brahman, consciousness, which is self-effulgent, which lends effulgence to all our organs, and they become in turn effulgent. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. It is your effulgence which is, following your effulgence, everything in this entire cosmos universe becomes effulgent. Thus he is Jyotir Ganeshwara. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Everything shines after that self alone, that self, the consciousness alone, which is the light of all lights. Sarvamidam vibhati, everything shines by that light alone. And even in the Gita, Bhagavan says in the 15th chapter, Yada dityagatam tejaha jagat bhasayate kilam yachandramasi yachagnav tat tejo vidhi mamakam. This again and again, you pick up any scripture, the same message is there. Here Bhagavan says, know that light which obtains in the sun and which lights up the entire world. Yet Chandramasi, that light which obtains in the moon. Yachagnav, that which obtains in the fire. Tat tejaha, that light. Vidhi, may you know, Mamakam is mine alone. Here Bhagavan Krishna is revealing his Swarupa in the 15th chapter, Purushottama Yoga. So, what we have to understand, it is the light of consciousness which lights up this entire cosmos. So, he is Jyotir Ganeshwara. Then Vijitatma. So here, the meaning of Atma, we should take it as the mind and sense organs. So Vijitatma means the master of the mind and sense organ. Vijita Atma Manaha Yena Saha Vijitatma. So here again, Bhagavan, we are visualizing Bhagavan in his Saguna form, rather, Sarupa form. So as I said, Atma means mind and sense organs. Bhagavan's Atma, that is his mind and sense organs, are always Vijita, under his control. And he does not need to put any effort, do meditation and all that to do that. Excuse me. Some spicy thing being cooked. So he does this, keeps his mind and senses under control without any struggle, without any effort. And that is why he is Vijitatma. We invoke him with this name because we also want to be Vijitatma, to have mastery over our mind and senses. That is what the spiritual journey is all about. It starts with gaining mastery over the functioning of our mind and sense organs. Shama, Dhamma, Uparama, all that. So that is Vijitatma. Then Avidheyatma. The one whose nature is not subject to any command. Na kenapi videya atma swarupam asyeti avidheyatma. So the nature of Bhagavan is avidheya, cannot be commanded by anyone. He is not subject to the commands of anyone. Puja Swamiji says this can be looked in a different way also. It is said in the Shruti, Atma va are drashtavyaha. So here the word Atma in the this occurs in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Yagyavalkya, these are Yagyavalkya's words. Atma vare drashtavyaha. Here the word drashtavyaha means to know. So this amounts to saying you must know the Atma. Now question will arise. Because when you say you must know the Atma, it looks like a command. So how can one be commanded to know the Atma? It is just like saying you must be compassionate, you must love the world, you must love the society, you must never get angry. So a command can only make a person carry out certain physical actions like keeping the shoe outside or in an orderly manner, hanging your clothes in a proper way. But how can you command anybody's emotions? Like anger, love. You can't say you have to love me. So these kind of emotions like anger, love, etc. cannot be evoked or banished by any command. You can't tell someone you stop loving me from today. It cannot be commanded. And Atma being oneself, it is not vidheya, not subject to commands. Like it is said in the Upanishad, you should know the Atma, etc. I mean, when we study Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, we will know the context in which that is said, and we will understand the meaning also of that. Hence, Atma is Avidheya Atma. Parameshwara being everything is one Atma, and hence he is Avideyatma. Because if there is only one, that who is the second to command that? There is no second to command that one. And when the Shruti says Atma Drashtavya hai, it means that it does not mean one should know the Atma. It means that one has to correct one's notion about oneself. So here it means know the real nature of yourself. That is what is the meaning Atma Vare Drashtavya. It does not mean you know the Atma. You please correct the notion, the wrong notion you are having about yourself. You are taking yourself as the body, mind, sense complex, which you are not. You are different from the body, mind, sense complex. You are of the nature of pure consciousness. That you know, that is Atma. So Atma Vare Drashtavya hai. Then Satkirtihi, the one whose fame is never belied. Sati Avitata Kirtihi Asyeti Satkirtihi. Since he is the Lord of Lakshmi, he is the one who has absolute kirti or fame. We have seen some people, they're famous for their pioneering work in some field. They may be experts and become famous in their respective fields. But what happens is, even that fame which they earn, that fades over a period of time. Their popularity diminishes. And after their demise, many cases, the fame would be lost also. But the fame of Bhagavan is always there. And it is there in all directions and spheres. Because his kirti, fame, never gets diminished or gets belied. He is Satkirti. And we can understand this better if we understand what we are talking about. What is Bhagavan? A rose was a rose. 5,000 years ago, it was as famous as a beautiful flower. Even today, rose is famous. The rose flower is famous for its fragrance and its beauty. Permanent, unlike the fame of the, human beings, which is not permanent. So when we understand Bhagavan as the entire cosmic order, everything in the cosmos as Bhagavan, we can then relate to this Satkirti, what it means, that his fame never diminishes or gets belied. Chinna Samshayaha, the one who is free from doubts. Karatala Amalakavat Sarvam Sakshat Kritavataha Kwapi Samshayah Nasti Iti Chinna Samshayah. Who will have a doubt, a samshaya? A person who knows, but he does not know fully. That's why whenever we learn anything, we get doubts. But Ishvara is Sarvagya, all-knowing. And hence he is Chinna Samshaya, he is free from all doubts with reference to everything because he has the knowledge of everything. And once we know Ishvara completely, we too become Chinna Samshaya, no doubt about anything. There is no more doubt with reference to what is true and what is not true. Nitya anitya vastu vivekah, sadasat vivekah, what is sat, what is asat. All these things we become free from the doubts, and that is why we invoke Bhagavan with the name Chinna Samshaya. Idea is we should also become Chinna Samshaya in our life. So far as our spiritual pursuit is concerned, we must never ever have any doubts. We must get clear of all the doubts. And that can happen only when we get completely understand what Ishvara is. So now we will go to the next sloka. Udirna sarvataschkshuhu anisha shashvatastiraha bhushayo bhushano bhutihi vishoka shokhanashanaha. So this sloka has again got 9 namas. Udirna sarvataschkshuhu anisha shashvatastiraha bhushayah bhushanah bhutihi vishokah shokanashanah. Udhirnah, the one who stands out above everyone. Sarva bhutebhyah. Samudriktatvat udhirnah. Samudrikatvat. So Bhagavan is taller than the tallest, bigger than the biggest, greater than the greatest. The Upanishads describe consciousness, anoraniyan mahato mahiyan. Smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest. Here the reference is Udhirna, they have taken the bigger aspect of it, not the small. So he is the greatest in every sphere, the most exalted. He stands out apart and above all, and hence he is Udhirna. Upanishad talks about Bhagavan as Vishwadika. Vishwadika means he is Adhika than the entire Vishwa. Above all, the entire cosmos is above the cosmos. Udhirna. Then Sarvatas Chakshuhu, the one who has got eyes everywhere. Sarvataha, Sarvam Swachaitanyena Pashyati iti Sarvatas Chakshuhu. The same thing Upanishad says, Vishwatas Chakshuhu. Adi Shankara quotes Shweta Ashwattara Upanishad. Vishwatas Chakshuhu. So as consciousness, as the Sakshi Chaitanya, he sees everything. He is the consciousness in every eye of every jiva. Hence he is Chakshunah Chakshuhu, the eye of the eye, in every being. Every eye, be that of a human being, a bird like a crow or a beetle, animal, is his eye alone, and hence he is Sarvadas Chakshuhu. The Shruti talks about, again, Shweta Ashwattara Upanishad, Vishwatas Chakshushuruta Chakshuhu Uta Vishwataspat, having eyes and feet everywhere. Vishwatas Chakshuhu And Vishwatas path. Path means legs, feet. So he is Sarvatas Chakshuhu. The next nama is Anishaha. Anisha does not mean, because this could be very dangerous to interpret. Anisha means the one who is not Isha. But that is not the interpretation. Anisha means the one who does not have a Lord, who does not have a Isha. Na vidyate asya Isha iti Anisha. Mahanarayana Upanishad says, Na tasyeshe kaschana. He is the Lord of all, and being the Lord of all, he has no Isha, another Lord to lord over him. No one rules over, excuse me, na tasya ishe kaschana, no one rules over him. Then Shashvata Stiraha, the one who is always existent without any change, Shashvata. Shashvat bhavannapi na vikriyam kadachit upaiti iti Shashvata Stira iti namaikam. So there are two words here, Shashvata and Stira, but they are to be taken as together. He is Shashvata, that means eternally existing in all three periods of time. And Stira means without any change, since he is not bound by time. Now something can still exist in all three periods of time, but that can go on changing. So Bhagavan is not like that. He is always there in the form of Jagat, which is always changing, but he himself does not undergo any change. And as I said, these two words are taken as one nama. Then Bhushaya, the one who rests on the ground. Bhushaya. Lankam prati margam anveshayan sagaram prati bhumau shete iti Bhushaya. Adi Shankara takes the meaning of this nama from Sri Rama Avatara, wherein during the search for Sita, when he was inquiring about the route to Lanka, he slept on the shores of the ocean. So this nama refers to Sri Rama, who rested on the shores of the ocean on his way to Lanka. Puja Swamiji adds one more perspective, that Ishvara being all pervasive, the entire earth can be figuratively understood as his bed. So if the earth is his bed, the sheet, grass is the sheet over the bed, Vayu is the fan. So Bhagavan is present on the entire earth. So he is Bhushaya. A very beautiful way Puja Swamiji explains another perspective. Then Bhushanaha, the one who adorns. Swechavataraihi bahubihi bhumim bhushayan bhushanaha. Bhagavan is adorned by ornaments, and so he is Bhushana, the adorner. And what are the Bhushana of Bhagavan? They are not the golden Bhushana which we use, rather, chain and bangle and all. The Bhushana of Bhagavan is in the form of stars, the planets, in the form of the Milky Way, the expanding galaxies, in the forms of the oceans, rivers, in the form of the forest, colorful flowers. You can just run your imagine wild. Everything that you can imagine is all ornament of Bhagavan only. He adorns the whole universe. So Bhagavan is therefore Bhushana. Even in his avatars, Sri Rama, Sri Krishna, which he took by his own wish, by walking on this earth, he adorned the earth. Another perspective we can take. Bhushana. Then Bhutihi. Bhutihi, Bhudatu, existence. He is the source of existence and all glories. Because here both the meaning can be taken. One is Bhudatu, we can take as existence, and Bhutihi in the sense of Vibhuti, glory also, both the meanings we can take. Adi Shankara says, Bhutihi Bhavanam Satta Vibhutir Va. It takes both the meaning. Samasta Vibhuti Nam Karanatvad Va Bhutihi. So the word Bhuti, as I said, has the meaning of Bhavana or Satta. Bhu Sattayam is the verb, existence. And it can also be taken to mean Vibhuti or glory. Being the Satta, existence in all being, Bhagavan is Bhuti. And every glory is Bhagavan's glory only. Every glory that we see either in human beings or in the entire nature, entire cosmos, it is his glory. So he is the cause of all the vibhutis, all the glories, and therefore also he is Bhuti. Then Vishokaha, the one who is free from sorrow. Vigataha shokasya paramananda ekarupatvat iti Vishokaha. Because the one whose nature is of limitless ananda, there can never be any shoka for him. He is always free from sorrow, and therefore he is called Vishokaha. Bhagavan has neither the fear of losing desirable things nor the moha, attachment to anything or anyone to have sorrow. In fact, this Vishokaha Nama occurs in Chandogya Upanishad also. And the entire spiritual journey is all about we becoming Vishokaha. And what is the prescription for that? Upanishad says, Shokam Tarati Atmavit. Once you know your real self, the real nature of yourself, you will also become Vishokaha. Advaita Vedanta is all about becoming Vishokaha only. And becoming Vishokaha means what? Always abiding in the Swarupa Ananda. That is Vishokaha. Because all the Shoka, if you see the source of Shoka, it starts with Raga, and then it converts into Moha, desire leading to attachment, and when we lose that object of desire, Shoka comes in. So Bhagavan, he does not have any attachment. He has no fear of losing anything, any desirable things. Because he is beyond Raga, Dvesha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya and all that. So Vishokaha. Then he is not only Vishokaha, he is also Shoka Nashanaha, the destroyer of sorrow. Mriti matrena bhaktanam shokam nashayati iti shoka nashanaha. So Vishoka, Shokanashana, these two namas are connected with each other. So we invoke the Bhagavan, Lord, as Vishoka, as one free from sorrow, and pray to him to make us also Vishoka, free from sorrow. So when we thus remember him and repeat his names, he destroys our sorrow. And when we know him as our very own self, he totally destroys all our sorrows of samsara. That is Shokanashana. Now, next sloka. Archishmanarchita kumbho vishuddhatma vishodhanah aniruddho pratiratah pradyumno mita vikramah. This also 9 namas are there. Archishman, Architah, Kumbha, Vishuddhatma, Vishodhanah, Aniruddha, Apratirataha, Pradyumnah, Amita Vikramah. Archishman, the effulgent. Archishmanto yadiyena archisha chandra suryadaya sayeva mukhyaha archishman. The word archish in Sanskrit means a ray of light. And archishman means the one who has the rays of light and is effulgent. We have just now seen that as the Adi Bhuta aspect, he is in the form of sun, moons, and stars, which are archishmans. All of them are effulgent and radiate light. And he is the main luminary because of whose effulgent the sun, moons, others, etc. shine. As the Adhyatma aspect, the rays of the senses, mind come out in. He is the one who is making our sense organs and the mind effulgent. He is the light of consciousness in the senses in the mind. So he is the main Archishman who is full of light and makes all the luminaries Archishmantaha by lending light to him. So he is Archishman. So the same idea, but from different, now split into. Now when you say effulgent, means what? What makes effulgent? So the sun is effulgent, lights up the whole world means what? The sun lights up the whole world through its rays, sun's rays. So when we talk of sun from the point of view of the ray, we call the sun Archishman. Bhagavan, similarly, how does he do it? His rays of the light, of the effulgence of Ishvara is what go and light up this whole world. So from that perspective, he is Archishman. End result is the same, but different aspects of it. Then Architaha, the one who is worshipped. Sarva lokarchitaihi virinchiyadivihi api archita iti architaha. He is Archita, worshipped all the time by everyone. He is worshipped even by Brahmaji and all other devatas, who themselves are worshipped by all the worlds. You know, we worship Brahmaji, we worship all the devatas, but those Brahmaji and devatas worship whom is Ishvara. That's why he is Architaha. Now, Puja Swamiji raises a very interesting question. How can we say that he is worshipped by all when there are so many atheists? They need not offer flowers or do namaskara to do archana. Every form that is seen goes and falls at the altar of the Atma, not only in a human being, but in every being. Whatever is perceived by any sense organ goes and falls at the altar of consciousness only. So it need not necessarily be archana by flowers or anything. People who understand the real nature of Ishvara, they will understand that everything that we do is nothing but arpanam to Ishvara only. It's Brahmarpanam only. That is, again, a very important aspect in spiritual pursuit. Once we understand Ishvara completely, what is Ishvara, then we will understand that we are, through all our actions, through all our activities, we are doing only archana of Ishvara, archana of that Brahman, that consciousness. And that's why, whenever we do puja and all, what we, last mantra, finally what we say, Kayena vacha manasa indriyairva buddhyatmanavat prakrite sobhavat karomi yat yat sagalam parasmai Sriman Narayana samarpayami. Whatever I do with my sense organs, with my legs, with my organs of action, with my thoughts in my mind, everything is nothing but my offering to that Narayana, to that Bhagavan. If we understand this, then we will understand Archita. And it is a sad thing that those who call themselves atheists, they are also doing Archana constantly of Bhagavan only. But they don't realize that, they don't understand that. That is the tragedy. But in their life's journey, there will come a stage when they will also start understanding all these things. They are far back in the queue so far as understanding is concerned. So it's a very important nama we have to keep in mind. And this nama Archita is at the base of entire Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is what? The first aspect of Karma Yoga is, and most important aspect, Ishwararpana Buddhi, Ishwararpana Bhava. Whatever we do, we are doing it as an offering to Ishvara. And that is why whatever we do, including our thoughts, our eating, it needs to have a high degree of purity. We cannot offer impure things to Ishvara. And if you connect it back that we ourselves are that Bhagavan, we are Ishvara, whatever we are eating, whatever we are doing, automatically when we are doing it for ourselves, it has got to be pure. And that is why purity is one of the most important aspects, Shaucham, most important aspects in spiritual growth. So we can bring in all these meanings in this Nama Archita. Then Kumbha, the one who contains everything. Kumbhavat asmin sarvam pratishtitam iti Kumbha. Since everything has come from him, everything is contained in him. Just as a Kumbha means a pot, holds water inside, so also Bhagavan holds this entire Jagat within him, and hence he is called Kumbha. The Chandogya Upanishad says, both the heaven and earth, that is the worlds above and below, the fire, the air, the sun, the moon, the lightnings and the stars, whatever obtains now or does not obtain now, all contained in him. So he is Kumbha. Then Vishuddhatma, the one whose nature is very pure. Gunatrayatītataya Vishuddhatma Swarupaha Yasya Vishuddhatma. Again, purity comes. His Atma is Vishuddha. His nature is ever pure, being devoid of and unaffected by the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, and their consequent effects. Because all the impurities that gather in our mind is because of the interplay of these three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Since he is Gunatita, Bhagavan is Gunatita. And when in the spiritual path, what should be our goal? I should also become Gunatita. In order to discover that I am no different from Ishvara. Then I will also become Vishuddha. So again, we can take this nama to invoke the purity in us. So Vishuddha. Then Vishodhana. Not only that Bhagavan himself is very pure, he is also purifier. Smriti matrena papanam kshapanat vishodhana. Again, the two namas are connected. Not only is he pure, but he makes others also pure. And that is why when we keep on taking the 1,000 names of Bhagavan or chanting Vishnu Sahasranamam, by thinking of the Lord alone, Priti Matrena, says Adi Shankara, we are freed from Papa. That means what? We are free from the hold of likes and dislikes. And it is this hold of likes and dislikes which give us a tendency to go against Dharma. And when we become purer and pure, we attain more and more Chitta Shuddhi. All our conflicts and notions of we being insignificant, all these impurities, they go away. So Bhagavan Nama is a great purifier. Again, when we chant Vishnu Sahasranama, it is part of Karma Yoga only. So he is Vishodhanaha, the great purifier. Then Aniruddhaha. Aniruddhaha. Niruddhaha means obstructed. Aniruddhaha means the unobstructed. Na niruddhaha aniruddhaha. Chatur vyuheshu chaturto vyuha. Very interesting aspect Adi Shankara brings in here. Aniruddha means the one who is unobstructed. The Lord cannot be stopped or obstructed by anyone. According to Vedavyasa, Vishnu, who is of great fame, manifests in 4 forms. Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha, and carries on the work of creation, sustenance and resolution. Aniruddha is one in charge of sustenance. In fact, this Chaturvyuha manifestation of Vishnu, it's a Vaishnava doctrine, according to which the manifestation is fourfold, as I said, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. In some texts, these 4 represent the creator, Vasudeva, and then the other 3, the process of creation, sustenance, resolution of the universe. So from whatever reading that I have been able to do, there seems to be a difference of opinion among scholars as to which attribute or function is manifest in which form. And this Vyuha doctrine has been developed in detail in Pancharatra treatises. In Mahabharata also there is, lot of description of these Vyuhas. Vishnu Purana, Vaishnava Puranas all talk about this Chatur Vyuha of Bhagavan. So in that process of Chatur Vyuha, in the process of creation, he does not encounter any obstruction. He goes about this process of creation, sustenance, and resolution without any obstruction. Therefore, he is Aniruddha. Now it's time. We will stop here. I'll say the prayers. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Guruji. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. See, I wanted to.
Namaskaram, Guruji. Thank you very much.
Namaskaram.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Thank you.
Just wanted to let you know that since we are just leaving for the US in the next half an hour, we will skip the question answer session of today. But what I suggest is you can make note of your questions if you have doubts and all. Next class we will take of that, because my family is waiting for me.
Thank you.
They wanted me to cancel the class. I said I won't cancel. Whatever time you leave, I'll be ready to leave. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Namaskaram.
Hari Om. Namaskaram. Thank you. Hari Om.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.